Hey guys, welcome again to my channel. Today I'm taking you with me to a fair in Tienen, a summer fair to be precise. But before we pack up our sandals and go there, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome to Quillscene. My name is Megan. If you like things that have to do with reading, with writing, with magic, with geeky stuff, then you're in the right place. Make sure to click on the magical subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell, because on that way you'll always get a notification whenever I upload something new. But yeah, I think it's high time to sniff up those summer vibes. We're going to the fair in Tienen. So, a bit to situate this, I don't live in Tienen, but Tienen is like the neighboring city from the village where I live. During like the summer months, well, more like just before the summer holidays, they usually host like a week or 1 week or 2 weeks, I'm not sure. But it's called like Tienen Zomert, or translated literally to English, it's like Tienen Summers. Well, Tienen, if I translate Tienen, the city name, to English, it would be Tans. But yeah, Tienen Summers, which is basically their like summer project to host all sorts of things in the city to, you know, get people outside, take part in community stuff like that. And one of the things they do is they host on one of the days a fair. And this was actually on Saturday, the 24th of June, 2023. And what they do then is basically they prevent cars from entering like the big shopping streets, and transform those streets into like, yeah, one big party. They make sure that you have like these, on the side of the road, they place these fair booths, which are, again, I have tried to explain it in English before, but they're like these metal side thingies on which you can put a wooden top for a table, and then you have like this ceiling thing above your head. So it's like the old school booths that you would usually go see on a market or something like that. So they place those around the side of the streets. The stores that are in those streets can ask for booths as well, so that they can actually bring their store outside. But also, if you don't have a store in said street, or are someone from around the neighborhood who has their own business, but not necessarily a store or a physical store, you can also book one of the booths to present your products there. And then next to the booths, you also have like food trucks, you have a stage for street musicians, you have, they even had like a bouncy castle for the kids, they had like a ball pit, so yeah, it was very fun. It's always very fun. But this time, the Standaard Boekhandel, which is like the biggest book chain in Belgium, they also have a store in Tienen. And the store in Tienen during the fair in Dutch is called a braderie. So excuse me if I like mix up those two from time to time. But yeah, the Standaard Boekhandel actually usually has 2 of those booths in front of their store, and then they invite local writers to claim one of the spaces at said booth to sell their books. And the idea was that they would work with like time slots. I think it was it an hour and a half. So they worked with like 3 time slots of 1 hour and a half, and every 1 hour and a half they had like four writers. I think it was always I think 4 to 3 writers that would fill, you know, the booths, because one booth was in more than enough space for 2 writers. And yeah, because I was already in their like database of local writers, they asked me if I wanted to come with my books. I also pushed, of course, Matthias Maho, who is a very local writer, because he is from Tienen. But sadly, he had that weekend some other plans with, which was an event that he had to do with his publisher, if I'm not mistaken. So he couldn't go. But luckily, I also knew another local writer, being Jana Bollens. She also writes fantasy books. So I pushed her to the theme of Standaardboekhandel Tienen. Like, yeah, she's also a local writer. She also writes fantasy, so maybe it's fun, you know, to make like a fantasy table. And they agreed. So Jana was put together with me in one slot, and also the writers. Now I have to take a little sneak peek. So Jana and me shared one booth, and the other one was shared between Petra Thomas and Liesbeth Verboomen. The one wrote a children's book, if I'm not mistaken, and the other one had a cookbook, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, our signing slot was from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. And after that, the next session of writers actually, you know, came, so we switched out. As I said, there was a lot of summery vibes because the sun shone. It was very warm. A lot of families were out and about. Again, there were performances from musicians. The bouncy castle and the ball pit were very popular with the kids. We each sold, I think, 1 or 2 books, which is expected usually when you do something with Standaardboekhandel, like a very short signing moment. So yeah, it was very cozy, very fun. Little disclaimer before I show the footage. I had forgotten my camera, because usually when I go to an event, I film everything with my like handheld camera. So this time I had to film with my cell phone, and sometimes I forget that you have to like keep it like horizontal and not vertical. So sorry if not all footage is the same format, but yeah, time for some footage. So as I said, it was a very fun signing moment because the sun was out, a lot of people were about, and yeah, it was very summery vibes. And of course I had a partner in Jana, but as 3 p.m. came, of course the next set of writers were there to, you know, take in our spots, so we switched. Of course, Jana and I both had brought our own books. sometimes bookstores ask that, because not every bookstore has the budget or the room to buy books in from the author that's visiting. So they usually then contact the writer to ask, can you provide your own books to bring to the event? And then the books that get sold during the event go through our register, and then you later, you know, tell us how many books were sold, and then we pay you back. So usually that's the thing, the kind of deal we make with Standaard Boekhandel when we do an event there. But of course it also meant that Jana and I had like a few boxes filled with books, and of course the streets around like the fair were no cars allowed. So we both had like our rolling trolleys where we could put our boxes on. But of course, as 3 p.m. came and the other group of writers came to switch out with us, we were like, actually we also want to visit the fair aside from the book stand. So we asked if we could leave our books for a moment in the back room of the store, so we didn't have to take them with us during the whole fair. So yeah, we were allowed to leave them there, so we could do some shopping of our own. There were a lot of fun stands or booths that sold all sorts of stuff. I did most damage. Well, it wasn't like I spent a lot of money on it, but there was a booth with things for pets. So I bought my dogs some treats and new toys. And then later, again, when we went to pick up our books in the bookstore, I also bought some things because it was right before my brother's birthday. And I bought some comic books and a birthday card for him there. But the highlight of our bonding at the fair was actually we went to for rolled ice cream, which was the first time I ever ate it. And it was very spectacular to see how it was made. For the ones who don't know it, basically you have all kinds of combination. I think Jana took one with cookies, like crumbled up cookies, and I did one with Kinder Bueno. And basically it's like this batter, kind of like melted ice cream but thicker. It more had like the consistency of pancake batter like. And then you can add like the crumbled cookies or Kinder Bueno of whatever in it. And then you have like a freezing plate that it gets poured on. And then you have like these two metal, it's not, it are like spatulas. And then you have to like mix it on the freezing plate and chop it in pieces and everything until you get one solid frozen over layer of ice cream. And then you have to like cut it in strips, and then you have to roll it up. So it was very entertaining to see how it was happening. I will try to insert a picture here somewhere, because I took a picture of the ice creams. It was very tasty ice cream. And while we were eating our ice cream, we were of course talking about writing. Jana had a bit of a writer's block, so we kind of brainstormed over that. And after all that, we went to Jana's car, because again, I don't have a driver's license. So the plan was that my mom was going to pick me up, but because Jana basically, same with Matthias, we don't live that far away from each other, she was like, you know what, I can take you home, we'll carpool. So she took me home. Thank you again, Jana, if you see this this video. So yeah, it was a very fun day at the fair in Tienen. And I hope that I get invited to one again next year. because as I said, though we didn't sell a lot of books, the vibe was so fun, so summery. So yeah, it was a very, very fun memory as an event. And that was already for this video. If you liked it, please leave a little thumbs up or a comment down below with your thoughts. It helps me more than you know. And hopefully I see you guys soon for another bookish, magical, probably on the go video. Bye!